Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make 2 vegetarian side dishes that I think are perfect for your vegetable courses for Thanksgiving. Because you can make them the day ahead, you can serve them at room temperature, and they don't take any oven space. They're also super delicious and full of fall flavors. Let me show you how to make them. The first one I'm going to show you how to make is a delicious broccoli salad with raisins. Now a lot of times we don't think of eating broccoli raw, but it's delicious raw, especially when you chop it up in the food processor. It becomes almost like a broccoli slaw. It's a perfect complement to all the carbs. So you're going to take 2 heads of broccoli and place them in the food processor. So you may need to do this in 2 batches. And don't pulse it up too much. You want it kind of chunky. And then you can transfer it to a bowl. The nice thing about this part is you can get the broccoli done at least a day ahead. I probably wouldn't do it 2 days ahead just because it starts to get a little bit wilted, but 1 day ahead and you're fine. And then the other thing we want to do is roast our almonds. This salad is really great with crunchy almonds, but I like to roast them first just to bring out their best flavor. You're just going to put them in at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 5 minutes. And once the almonds are cool enough to handle, you want to give them a chop. Place your almonds in a little airtight container, and you really can just leave them on your countertop and they will be all ready to go. Another thing you can get done the day before or even 2 days before is the vinaigrette. So this is Dijon mustard. I have 2 tablespoons going in. This is a really delicious honey balsamic vinaigrette, which pairs really well with the broccoli salad. Then you're also going to add some balsamic vinegar. I have to tell you, this is my new favorite balsamic vinegar. Some friends of ours brought it back from Italy, and I thought, oh, I will never be able to find this anywhere, and I savored every little drop because it has this like amazing, thick, almost syrupy consistency to it. Well, I ran out, and sure enough, I found it on Amazon. There it was. So I will leave you the link and you too can enjoy. It's really amazing and I am so happy that I don't have to go back to Italy to get it. And then if you're not using this vinegar, you might want to also put a little bit of honey in it. Or you could add honey as well. It's just a lot of other balsamic vinegars that may not be as thick and syrupy can be a little tart. So I would do anywhere from half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of honey. All right, now you could use really any type of non-flavored oil. So you could use grapeseed oil, vegetable oil, corn oil. I think those are best for salad dressings where you want the main flavor to not fight against olive oil. So like in this dressing, we really want that balsamic vinegar and the honey to come through. And if you add olive oil to it, olive oil has such a pronounced flavor, they start to kind of fight against each other. You could also use walnut oil. That I think is really great against the balsamic vinegar. So I'm gonna use a little bit of walnut oil. I would say anywhere from 3 to 6 tablespoons, depending on how strong you like your dressing. And you just want to add it a little bit at a time, whisking all the while. And then you always want to taste it just to be sure you are adding the right amount. Oh, that's so delicious. The walnut oil is really good. It adds this like fall nutty flavor, but it's subtle. It doesn't fight against the balsamic vinegar. I think it's perfect. I'm going to keep it just like this. And then another thing you can do the day ahead is measure out your raisins. They can be resting on your countertop so that in the throes of entertaining, you're not looking for the measuring cups or trying to find the raisins. They're all here on your countertop with the rest of the components. Then the only thing you have to do the day of when it's time to serve is cut your apple. So I have a pink lady apple. I really love these in salads because they're sweet and a little bit tart without being too tart. They're like the perfect salad apple. Then watch how easy this is. The day of Thanksgiving, when it comes time to assemble, you'll grab your broccoli, you will pop in your apples, you'll add your raisins, your toasted almonds, and then you'll add your dressing. You've got all of those chewy raisins, the crunchy, refreshing apples, the nutty almonds, and of course, the hearty broccoli. Super easy and super delicious. It's so yummy. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make this delicious roasted butternut squash quinoa salad that's loaded with pecans, cranberries, pomegranate seeds, and a little bit of dinosaur shell. So we're first going to begin by cooking our quinoa. And it really can be any type of quinoa, but for this time of year, I really love working with this Tri-Colored Quinoa. Sometimes you also see it as Harmony Quinoa. I love it because it has 3 different colors to it. And when it's cooked up, it almost looks like wild rice. It just has a beautiful fall color. I don't really notice a big flavor difference, to be honest, between this quinoa and any other type of quinoa. It's really more for the color. I just think it's so beautiful. So first you're going to add 2 cups of water in a pot, and then you'll add the quinoa. And then I put it on high just until it starts to boil. And then once it does start to boil, then I turn it down to like a low simmer and just let it cook until all of the water is evaporated. Then we are going to shut off the flame, and I like to put the top on the pot and let the steam continue to cook the quinoa a little bit until it's nice and fluffy. All right, now for our butternut squash. Now it can be very tempting when you get to the store and you see around Thanksgiving time all that butternut squash cubed beautifully sitting in those little plastic tubs. It might be a little bit more money, but you think, oh, for the amount of time I'm gonna save, and you grab it. I think it's better to cut it yourself, and here's why. A lot of times that squash has been cut a few days ahead, maybe even sometimes a week ahead, and it might look all beautiful on top, but at the bottom, if you flip it over, if it looks the least bit slimy or darker in color, just cut it yourself, because the slimy butternut squash isn't going to roast and caramelize very nicely. So now we want to prep some herbs. I really love to use all of these beautiful Thanksgiving herbs like sage, rosemary, a little bit of thyme. I would say if you wanted to save some money, just buy the rosemary. It's the most pronounced, it'll give you the most flavor, and it'll still be just as good. So we're looking for a tablespoon of each, or if you're only using the rosemary, I would do 3 tablespoons. Then you also want to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil and 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. This is going to create a really delicious, almost like sticky glaze on top of our butternut squash. A pinch of salt just to taste, and then some freshly cracked pepper. Then just toss it up, making sure that all of your squash is getting coated with the olive oil and the syrup, as well as distributing all of those herbs. Then you will place in a 475-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then once your quinoa is cooled, you can put it into an airtight container, and you can do the same with your butternut squash. Then you can also prep your kale. So I like this dinosaur kale. I think they call it that because the leaves almost resemble like dinosaur skin. It's kind of interesting. I use about 3 to 4 big sized leaves, and then just remove that center stalk. It will just make it easier to eat that way. And then I like to give it a rough chop, almost like you're cutting little ribbons. And then I pop it in the bowl and do this the day before, and that way I'm one step ahead because it's already in the bowl ready to go. Another thing we can get done the day before is the dressing. So we are going to make a very light dressing with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I don't like to do a heavy dressing anytime I'm serving quinoa because it'll just weigh the quinoa down. And there's so much flavor in this salad anyways, you really don't need a lot, just a little bit, just so that it's not so dry. Then we're also going to add 2 tablespoons of grapeseed oil, and then we're also going to add a teaspoon of maple syrup, just because that apple cider vinegar is pretty tart. And then a really delicious addition to this is some orange zest. I like to do about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. The combination of orange zest with the butternut squash and the maple syrup is such a great flavor combination. And with the pecans, which are also going in the salad. Now this is extra credit. If you're running out of time, you absolutely could use these raw, but I really love to toast these pecans because I think it just brings out all of their flavor and it gives it a little bit more crunch. And all it is 375 for 5 minutes. And then once they're cooled, you can keep them on your countertop covered. Then on Thanksgiving Day, watch how easy this is. I already have my dino kale in the bowl ready to go. I add my quinoa, then you'll also add the butternut squash, a cup of cranberries, 3/4 cup of pomegranate seeds, and your pecans. Then your dressing's all ready to go, and you can just sprinkle that on top and give it a toss. And you could serve it just like this in a big beautiful bowl, that would be lovely. But for something like Thanksgiving, I actually like to serve it on a low, shallow platter. It also helps to show off all the different components that are in the salad. Guests, when they're at your buffet, can really see what's in it. All right, you guys, I'll see you back here tomorrow where I'm gonna be sharing my part 2 of my Thanksgiving Day prep. I'll see you then, bye.